welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi, I'm NikkiO'Heir, and if you can't tell by the bright blue scrubs, I am a nurse. I have been a nurse for almost 2.5 years now, so I'm still relatively new. I worked on MedSurg. Despite being so new, I feel like I have gained so much in these couple of years of being a nurse. And I've noticed there's a lot of things that I wish I would have known before I started nursing school, and especially before I started my first job. Today's video is going to be about the top 10 things that I wish I would have known before I started nursing school and before I had my first job as a new nurse. So for all you new nurses out there, if you would like to know my tips and tricks, then keep on watching. When I got to college, I based everything off of the movies. You know, I didn't really have like an older sister or someone to talk to about, oh, what was your college experience like? I based everything off of movies. Not a good thing to go off of because it's totally not realistic. But I thought I was gonna have all this time to just like hang out with my friends and go to random big parties, and the whole school, that's what it was about. It was just having fun. And I really did not estimate the amount of time I would have to put in just to be able to keep up with my grades. They really don't touch on the fact that no, when you're in college, a lot of the time you're doing is studying and working to get that degree. There is so much time that you put in just for studying alone. Be at the library for 6 hours, maybe, head straight to the library, and I wouldn't leave until like 11 o'clock at night. I couldn't even tell you how many times that all of our friends were going out. They were going out to drinks, or they were going out just to do something fun, going to the beach, where me and my friends in nursing had to sit and stay and study. You have to put so much of your time into just maintaining the grades. The nursing grade system is different. A normal B for most people would be like an 82. That's a B, right? Nursing school, that's a C. And you're only allowed to have C's so many times. Like, you could have 2 C's and then you're up for dropping the system. But that's terrifying. You can't have a C. You have to have a B or above, which is like an 84% or above. So the amount of time you have to put in to stay with these grades is just insane. It's a lot. It's a lot. Everyone learns differently, and you have to find how you learn. In high school, like, most of us just breezed on by through high school. Nursing school, that is not how it is. If you don't not only understand it, memorize it, but then be able to apply it, it's not gonna work. You're not gonna get the question right, because in nursing school, the questions, all of the answers are semi-correct, but which one is the most correct? You are going to hear that over and over again from your professors. So that's why it's so important to figure out what style of learning works best for you. For me specifically, I would record my professors during their lecture and then go through the slideshows listening to them. So when I would have my test, I could literally, for some reason my brain just worked where I could pull what they said back and find out which answer was correctly, because I could hear them from listening to it so many times. So it might take you a while, but definitely learn the way that you learn better. This is something that I've really struggled with, but don't freak out. I always thought I was failing in nursing school. Constantly. I thought, nope, I'm out. I'm not good enough to be a nurse. I caused myself so much anxiety for no reason. I just needed to trust myself that I was putting in the work, and if you are putting in the work, you will get there. But you need to not be so hard on yourself. You get a bad grade, you get a bad grade. Talk, go over it, get a tutor. They are usually, in most colleges, they offer some sort of tutoring program with someone who has already taken this nursing class. Talk to your professors. There might just be something where you aren't in the best environment. Me specifically, I figured out I have huge test anxiety. In high school, I was fine taking tests. I got like all A's in high school. I was failing the first test and I just had no clue why. I studied really hard. So she brought me into her office, and I'll forever be grateful for her for this, but she went over the questions with me verbally, and I got all of those questions right. And she was like, you probably just have test anxiety. Let me put you in a separate classroom where you're only with 1 or 2 people and see how you take the test then. And we did that for the next test. Lo and behold, the next test I did really, really well. And that's how I took my tests for the rest of my college experience. So if you are freaking out, you're not getting the grades, you just aren't understanding anything, talk to your professor, talk to your peers, get a tutor, find out what's going on, and just don't freak out. Find the time for self-care. You need to take a break. Getting up at 5 in the morning or earlier, and then picking up my nursing students that were in the same clinical as me and going to class in clinical and being there all before 7 a.m. Ooh, fun times. But that takes a lot out of you. Just the amount of pressure you have to study and not mess up. Because I think people forget a lot that you are dealing with someone real. You know, engineering, you're dealing with a computer, you're dealing with a piece of equipment. With nursing, you're dealing with another human interaction. If you mess up, you can mess up that person. And that's a lot of pressure. And you need to find a way to be able to handle that. If that's just going and getting a drink, like for us, when we all turned 21, our whole big thing was margs. We all wanted to go get margs all the time, because sometimes you have to pull yourself out of it, and that's okay to take the time and pull yourself out of it. If you don't, you're gonna go crazy. And you need to make sure, especially in college, that, you know, it isn't all about studying. You need to have those crazy college fun experiences. You know, you don't want to go back to your grandkids years from now and be like, oh, what'd you do in college? Studied? No, you need those fun experiences too. So it's all about finding the balance for it. And self-care in nursing is a huge, huge part of that. This is a big one, because this is really related to nursing school as well. MedSurg is not beneath you. Starting in MedSurg is a good thing, and it is something I cannot encourage enough to brand new nurses. I can't even tell you how many people want to go into NICU, or they want to do mother baby. Those niches are so hard to get into as a new graduate. Is it possible? I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it is so hard to get into. And people say, if you don't get into those, oh, well, you go to MedSurg. But they say it like it's a bad thing. MedSurg, and I'm going to tell you this, MedSurg is probably one of the most busy places within the hospital where you get all of your clinical skill set. You're going to learn so much. You're going to learn how to stay on your feet and manage 5 patients at one time and be able to handle multiple tasks at one time. Every single day, you are going to see something different. And I have known so many people who go, oh, I really don't want to start in MedSurg. MedSurg is your base. You know, you get, your base is MedSurg, and then you get to like IMCU, and then you get to ICU, and then maybe you go to flight nursing, because that's like the goal of so many people. Whatever your little stair set is, MedSurg is a base. And I know so many people who look down on that base. They say it like it's negative. And MedSurg is not a negative place to be. It is the groundwork for your foundation as a nurse. That is where you learn all of your basics. And unfortunately, I know so many people who went into a niche right away, and they were told to go back down to a MedSurg based unit so they can get their foundation, or just the management part of it. They don't teach you that in nursing school. And MedSurg is the foundation for where you learn that. And it is not a negative thing. MedSurg is the foundation, and I cannot stress that enough for new nurses. If you think something is wrong with your patient, say something. Say something, say something, say something. Something's going wrong with your patient, you have to say something. Do not be afraid of the doctor being like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know exactly what I'm talking about in this sense, but I know something's going wrong, and ultimately, I am the advocate for this patient. And if a doctor ever, gives you a little crap for saying something, at least you know that you said something, and If it was no big deal, then it's no big deal, but at least you know that it wasn't a big deal and it couldn't have escalated to something being really, really wrong with that patient. So you have to say something. Nursing PTSD is a thing. Is it as dramatic as like someone who went to war or a veteran? No, I don't believe so. But nurses deal with stuff that isn't natural for most humans to deal with. And the first time you see someone tank, you see someone going to die, you're doing CPR, you're trying to get them back, you're doing everything you can, it takes a toll on you, and you are going to remember that patient for a very long time, and you're going to sit there and you're going to think, what could I have done better? What could I have done to avoid that situation? So dealing with someone going bad on you despite you doing everything you can, it's really, really hard, and it's definitely a real thing. And if you need to talk to someone about it, reach out. There are most hospitals have some form of nursing counseling service offer for free. Or even if you don't necessarily want to speak to a professional, you can always just try talking to another nurse, a peer. But you have to be able to get that off your chest somehow, because otherwise it'll just sit there and eat at you. So try to leave your work at work. If you're having issues with this PTSD from a patient experience, whatever it may be, talk to someone, get in contact, tell your manager about it. They will have some form of help for you. The next one, you hear about this in nursing school. You hear about it. This is the whole "do nurses eat your young" syndrome. And I'm going to tell you, yes, some of them do. And it's all across the board. It's not just the older nurses, and it's not just the younger nurses. It just happens. Sometimes you get people who are not wanting to work with you. Situation, if someone's really attacking you for a reason you don't really know. If you are dealing with this kind of situation, deal with it in the most respectful way possible. Even if someone is harping on you a lot, just try to be as respectful as well, remain as calm as possible. And what I really want to emphasize about that is that know your worth. If you're just not working well with someone, talk to your manager about it. And if they don't support you on it, there's going to be another job that does. You have to know what you're worth, and other places are going to be better for you. So just hang in there. Another huge thing is that it is okay. It's not just okay, it's expected to not know everything. When we first start out on the floor, you are going to be amazed at how much you do not know. You're thinking, oh, I just passed this nursing program, I passed my NCLEX, I'm gonna do great. You're gonna get there on your first day on the floor and not know crap. And that's okay, that is expected. You're gonna learn it on the floor. That's why there's such a long preceptor orientation period typically. That's why you should really, really value your preceptor, and if you don't know something, just ask. Don't be afraid to be like, hey, I don't know how to do this your way, do you mind showing me? That's okay. If you have a good preceptor, they should understand that you are brand new and you need to learn this. So just keep asking questions, it's gonna be all right. Kind of a big one, and it is to not tie your self-worth to how you are doing in nursing, whether that's nursing school or your nursing job. To have some sort of other outlet that gives your life a purpose. I was so busy in nursing school. Do I have hobbies anymore? No. So you have to find something else that'll give your life some sort of meaning. For me right now, making these YouTube videos brings me another purpose outside of the nursing field that makes me happy. You have to have some other outlet, something to keep you sane when work and everything else is going crazy. So that is my last and final tip. I really hope you guys liked this video. If you want more nursing tips and tricks, feel free to comment down below what you'd like to see. I might dive deeper into what I wish I knew before nursing school, because trust me, there is a lot more in what I wish I knew as a nurse, what I'm still learning. If you'd like to see those videos, just let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, have a good one. Good luck, new nurses. Bye.